I have a theory about you and Asians.
Okay.
You were raised by them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who?
The first was Suni and Ted. Suni. Ted was the bar manager at the club.
Yeah.
This was like in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then and Suni was married to Ted.
And they were both Thai?
And they were both Thai, and they lived at my mom's house downstairs. Oh. So Ted would be the bar manager. He'd go to the club, and Suni, she went to USC, and she was like trying to get a doctor's degree or some shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And she used to take me to school.
Aww.
And she would make me like hot pepper beef and Tupperware.
Right.
And she would always, and I would always like, as a kid, run around my house, and she'd always like, she never cooked in the kitchen. She felt because she was like a housekeeper, she didn't want to go in the kitchen area.
Yeah.
So she brought all like the hot pans and the the cooking stuff.
Yeah.
Inside her bedroom. So I would smell the hot pepper beef, and I'd fucking go in the bedroom, and she'd have sticky rice. It was the stickiest rice. I was fucking obsessed.
Oh my God.
And I'd go in there, and she'd make me a bowl, and I'd sit there with her, and she had like fucking gongs and shit in there, and like
Cooking and gongs. Yeah.
No, not cooking, but like little like
Gongs,
Yeah,
like sound
gongs,
stuff. Yeah.
Because even still, the bar staff up until a couple of years ago was a lot of Thai. Still.
I saw what was his name? The guy that was there for years.
There was Tony, right? There was Huck. Huck.
I saw him in Thailand.
Oh, you went and you saw Huck in Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
You guys had a meal, or you just ran into
we
each
had a
other?
meal.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
nice. I love
Yeah, he's
that
got like
guy.
a restaurant out there.
Oh wow, I love that guy.
Like in Phuket.
Wow.
I like Phuket.
But you didn't have a traditional upbringing. I mean, it must have been crazy. With Kinnison babysitting you.
He was never babysitting me. The way it was is what I have to blow my one side.
Okay.
No, it was I have like
fancy.
allergies and shit.
Yeah.
No, he it was my parents divorced when I was 3, and then I like the phones are going off in here. That's good.
Yeah.
Professional.
Yeah.
The phone's on top of the back.
So Asian.
Maybe there'll be some gongs and shit. No, it was like Jack Perdue, Dave Tyree, Mike Binder, Argus Hamilton, Mitchell Walters, Alan Stevens. Those are the guys that really babysat me. Lois Bromfield.
Wow.
She babysat me for real.
Yeah.
And then Kennison just kind of took me under his wing, because when I first started, when I was like 17, 18 years old, Sam was at the Westwood Comedy Store, and he was a doorman there, and my mom used to put him on last.
Yeah.
And Sam used to go on at fucking 2 a.m. and he would get the stool. There'd be a stool on the fucking chair on the stage, and he'd scream, "Out of my house! This is my house!" And he'd take the stool and he'd throw it at the 6 people that were in the audience, like UCLA kids, and they'd scamper off, and then he'd come backstage, and I'd be like shaking my head, and I'd be cleaning up, and I'd give him food, and then I'd leave the door open, the back door open, and let him sleep on the stage.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was LeBeau back there too? Yeah.
It was LeBeau. It was Joey Gaynor. It was Freddie Asparagus.
Oh, I love those guys.
It was,
Asparagus?
the real guys, dude.
Yeah.
Freddie
You ever see Three Amigos?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
You ever see Three Amigos? He was the bartender.
Freddie
That Mexican,
Asparagus.
that Mexican big bartender. That's
Yeah.
Freddie Asparagus.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are the guys that babysat me. And then my mom dated this guy, Steve Landsberg. Steve Landsberg was on this show in the 70s called Barney Miller. Barney Miller was like the biggest sitcom in the world. If you Google Barney Miller, it was like police officers. It was a comedy, and it was like, I forgot who's the big.
There was a
whatever.
Korean dude on it though. I know that.
Yes, there was a Korean dude, a black guy.
Yeah.
And Abe Vigoda was on it.
Yeah,
and shit.
Vigoda. Yeah.
And Steve Landsberg was on it, and then that was like my mom when she was at her happiest. So she dated this guy, Steve Landsberg.
Yeah. Was she the saddest when she dated Argus?
No, she was happy when she dated Argus. She just didn't like that Argus was a drug addict.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she believed in him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a shame, because I feel really bad, because Argus is a great guy and he was an addict. So he never made it, and I feel really bad because
Why didn't he make it?
because his cocaine problem and alcohol and all that shit.
Yeah. It's
He
because I
got
see him
nuts.
now, because if you don't know, Argus Hamilton still plays the Comedy Store. He's got to be 70 years old by now, right?
Well, he always says he's 59, which is hilarious.
yeah,
He goes, I'm a baby boomer and I'm 59 years old.
yeah. It's like, oh my god. But he still plays the room.
He's great.
He's still great. Yeah.
He's great.
But there is a part of me that just feels bad for him.
No, you shouldn't. He's alive.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he's alive, so I feel great.
And he's
No, but
going
you know
up
what I mean?
every
For
night.
real. Like, he's been through a lot. Like,
Yeah.
he like, people hear about Sam Kinison being a drug addict and cokehead and all that shit. Argus was way worse. Way worse, dude. I had to, like, peel him away from my mom, dude. Like,
Because of abuse.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he used to fucking come home. My mom would have her jag, and she would come home, and I would, Argus, leave me alone. You're fucking drunk. Get out of here. Go home. No, Mitzi, I'm staying here. And then, like, one time I had to fucking call the cops on him.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? And, like, yeah, it was bad. And then this was fucked up, dude. Like, I had to call the cops on him, and then I go downstairs, and the cops were there, and then what happened was, as I say the cops, I'm like, this guy's fucking with my mom, da da da. And then my mom was like, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's okay. And then the cops would leave, and then Argus would corner me. Yeah, and then he'd be like, oh, real funny. Funny man calling the police on me. Now what are you going to do?
Oh, shit.
And I'm fucking like 12.
I can't
I'm like,
believe
I
it.
can't imagine
I'm like
Argus
fucking
being
12.
anything.
I know.
Oh, yeah, real funny.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Seems so nice.
He seems so just like a tender
Anyone
older
that's
man.
fucking super nice is super fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
Simone?
Right. There is a hidden thing there. Yeah.
I mean, Simone is the best guy in the world, but he's also nuts. He'll admit he's nuts.
Is this rumor true then when Sam Kinison, I heard he became he got more spots because he one time saved your mom from Argus?
I don't know if that's why. I know
Yeah,
that my
yeah.
mom and Sam loved each other to death.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
My mom loved Sam.
Yeah.
And Sam loved my mom because he developed at the store.
Yeah.
And she developed him just like she developed Arsenio or Roseanne or any of them.
Oh, it's crazy.
You know, she loved Sam. Sam was like her own son. You know what I mean?
You just to think the names that came out of your fucking club is insane.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone.
And that's the thing is like I'm there now, and like yeah, you talk about how great the business is.
Yeah.
And it is. It's making more money now than like ever or since when it was in the heyday. Back in the day. But comedy back then, like I watch guys. I'm in the back. I watch Mark Maron. I watch these guys, and I talked about this on I think I talked about it on Rogan. I forgot what podcast I talked about it. Like I watch Eliza, I watch everyone, and they all kill, but they're not like it was. They are not like fucking Eddie Murphy and fucking Pryor and Kinison. The vibe was 100% different. You know what I mean? Even Chappelle and Chris Rock are probably the biggest comics in the world. Nothing compared to fucking how it was.
Yeah.
Because like when you're in the back, dude, and I would walk Richard to the stage.
Yeah.
Because like I would see him, I was so obsessed with him, but it was my mom's club, and he loved me. And every time I'd see him, he'd give me a hug and say what's up, and I'd always rush and get him a drink. You know what I mean? I'd get him a soda or alcohol or gin or whatever he wanted, and I'd put him there. I'd keep people away from him because he had to get his head together. He's like fucking Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
And he'd sit on the belly room stairs.
Yeah.
There, right? Sit there, and I'd be like, back off. And then I'd tell my mom, I'd like, Mom, Richard's here. And she would freak out. She would go over there and give him a hug and a kiss. Everyone would leave him alone. And then I'd kind of like peek in the room to see what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, dude, we're ready. And I'd fucking walk him in and then walk him up. And that's the OR.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'd walk him in there, and I'd walk him, and I'd be in the back booth there, and he would fucking come on. Someone would say, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Pryor. People, I swear to God, would fucking stand up and fucking they were like, oh my God. It was like Jesus was walking in.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was like insane, and he'd walk up on stage, and people couldn't believe Richard Pryor was on the stage.
But I think that has a lot to do with now in the age of the internet, anyone can get notoriety through their YouTube channel, this and that. Back then, you had to be the best to get on TV and whatnot. It was harder to make it. So when you did make it, the whole world knew who you were. Like, back in the day when they said, I did Johnny Carson once, and I became an overnight sensation.
That's how it was, yeah.
I mean, Candace Thompson, who you just met, just did the fucking Tonight Show a couple of months ago, and no one knows who the fuck she is.
Yeah.
It's harder now.
Yeah, and then I do Rogan, and everyone talks about it.
I know, it's crazy.
Insane. It's like Rogan's podcast is like the biggest in the world.
Is the Tonight Show?
It's like bigger.
Yeah.
It's
Tonight
bigger
Show.
than fucking John. It's bigger than anything.
Anything,
Right.
yeah.
And that's just the way it is. But my point is Richard Pryor was just funnier than anyone. So it's like I love Chris and I love Chappelle, and they're both the best.
Yeah.
But Richard was Richard.